good evening wherever you are. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment, share and subscribe. There'll be a quote at the end. Today's video is going to be on Battlefront 2, the game. If this is not for you, then, or you're not interested in this game or games generally, but specifically about this game, then there's of course other videos for you to watch. Okay, so Battlefront 2, it came out about a year ago in about November 2017 as I recall, and it's November 2018 now, and it's been a roller coaster of a ride for this game. I got this game about 1 month after it came out. I waited a little while just to see how it went. To give you some background information, and this is covered in loads of other YouTube videos you can see, Battlefront, the original of this new version of the game, ended up being a bomb because they separated people and people couldn't play in the same game and they switched things and it just became awful and unplayable, as I'm led to believe. I didn't get that game myself. So I got this one, and at first everything seemed to go fine. There was, you could play the game, you could get the rewards and open up boxes and increase your characters and all sorts. And of course this meant star cards, and you had to earn them and increase them, which was a challenge. And maybe was it so fair? Well, that's where it started getting into problems. At first things seemed to go okay, the gameplay was good, there were maps, there was all sorts of things to try, and then the star cards became a bigger problem and a bigger problem and a bigger problem. I mean, loads of people got involved, Belgium, the country, got involved, saying, this is gambling for children. You also had to pump in so much money to open up all these star cards if that's what you wanted to do. You could try and earn it by grinding the slow way, but to open up everything. So was it really a level playing field? No. Did you have to earn stuff? Yes. Was it a grind? Yes. But it was a really long grind, or you had to literally spend lots of money. Yeah, you must have been thinking about, the pounds, dollar, euro signs, whatever it is they were thinking of, which is apparently a known thing with this game or this company. So they got in trouble with one government, then someone else got involved in the gambling for children. Disney, who owned the copyright of Star Wars, then were not happy with this whole situation, and they then suspended the star card. Then, in my opinion, so this is my opinion, it went downhill from there. So they started changing things. The major change to which they did was they switched the gameplay literally upside down. So instead of having the gameplay and the teams and working to a goal, it was just completely reversed almost, and it was really difficult. Now, of course, there was no star cards anymore. You had to skill points and so on, which was fine. Okay, to be fair to them, the company tried to bring out new things, which most games would do. So they brought in new modes, the jet trooper mission or weekend, and then they brought out the Ewok hunt, the night mission. But all this stuff really didn't sit well with me. Apparently the Ewok hunt, for example, was the most popular. Personally, I hated it. There are reasons for this that I'll get into in a minute. But, they were trying, but the game was literally devolving. There was also problems and issues with either things being overpowered or nerfed, which are not going to please everybody, to be honest. Then there was things like, 20 players aside, that's maximum in Galactic Assault. As you know, there are other modes. I don't play them much. I did want to do, flying around in spaceships, but I found that to be difficult with a mouse and a PC. I was never good on a controller. I really didn't have a controller. But that's another story. And the other modes, I have tried them, so I have tried everything. But it wasn't to my liking. I like a game with a lot of players. And Galactic Assault, by saying 20 by 20, 40 players, that's 20 aside, wasn't going to be great. The reason being, you could have it but 20 people aside. If you think about it, you want to play, if you're a Star Wars fan, you want to play like the films. Now yes, they have the maps like the films from Hoth and Crate and Endor, but it's all, if you look carefully, or just if you know the games and the maps, they're all their versions of it, their interpretations, as I call it. For example, this doesn't include just the maps, but their specials like the Ewok Hunt. It's a nighttime version of Endor. Endor is doing the mission. Yes, it has to be for the game, but it fits the game for 20 by 20 aside. Hoth. When did Hoth ever become mountainous? It was flat terrain. Even the original Battlefront, going back to 2005 as I recall, and I have played that one, that was the original flat map and everything, and you got into the bunkers and so on, and the turrets. That was at least better that way. This is more rocky and mountainous because I had to fit it into the game. 2 walkers, you're never going to get 5, I think there were 2 in the original, and then you've got the ATSTs as well. But still, their interpretation, and then you get inside. That is part of the game, of course, it has to change, but even Endor is not the same. It's not, none of them are like the games in the films. None of the games are like in the films. So, of course it is the game. You can't help that. You can't help all the other quirks and everything else, like people jumping around and stuff, which is unrealistic in my opinion, but that's what goes on. And it's just a way of playing the game. So yeah, if you don't like a game which needs lots of people, just literally 20 aside maximum, then it's very difficult. But then it gets even worse when they brought in loads of other things. So they sorted out the star card problem, but it went downhill after that, and they tried to fix the squad system. Now, the squad system was never perfect. It was bad. It was just, nobody used it. What did it mean? Then they brought an update to the squad system so you could jump in. That's a little bit better, and they'll probably, keep tweaking and bringing out updates. But the matchmake was then, I think, for me, was the worst thing of all. Because now, not only you can't play with friends, really, although some people were making like little clans and groups and so on, and were being able to play. You have to play individually, so you can't play with friends, as far as I know. Easily, you can't join up, you have to play with a set group of people that you're putting to each team. But this is where it gets even worse. So people go in, jump in, they either start playing the game, or they don't like it and they leave. And if you're trying to join a game, you then get to join a game now. So this is after 1 year. You get to join a game, and it's because if it's not at the brand new beginning of a level, or a map, or the round, it's in the middle of something, even at the end, because someone didn't like it and left. Or they've left it, as I said, halfway through, or at the beginning, or even at the end, like I said, and then it switches to matchmake again, and you go through the whole process. People leave and you jump in, and you put on the side because it's unbalanced, and other people have left, and it just makes it unplayable. You want to play around. You can't even play around easily, usually. At least 50-50. Or you can't play around, or a map. You can't play a map anymore often. It's more less than it is often. So it's like playing half a round or a round if you're lucky. Maybe 2 rounds, which is a map, and that's it. So you can't pick your map. You can't play with friends. You can't play big matches. You can't play maps that look like the films. You matchmake. You get put into sides that people have left if you can join. Sometimes it just spins for ages. And the sound bug was the worst one. That lasted a really long time. They've apparently fixed that one after they've now gone and made all these changes. So the bug, the only way to fix the sound bug was to actually leave the game, even if you're on a good side. But that makes it mute now. You get on a good side and you want to play, and then you get matchmake, so you can't play. I end up playing literally 1 or 2 rounds, and that's it. Then I leave, and that's all I play for the day. If I had known this, I would not have got this. I was waiting for another game, but that's taking years to come out. But 2020 aside, if you like lots of people and you want to play in really big maps or with lots of people, then this is no good. I don't see this getting any better, really. Even if they tweak and tweak and tweak. I mean, I've paid for it now, so I may dip in and check it out, or do it quickly, or do a round or a map at best, and that's it. But those are just my thoughts. After 1 year of having this, or 11 months for me, 1 year since the game came out. I do not have high hopes for this game. In fact, after 6 months of this game and all the debacle was going on, when they completely reversed the game and they had got in trouble for all the gambling side of it and they had to suspend the star card system, there were already talks, and I've got other information from elsewhere, that they were already making the next version of the Star Wars game. Which means this one was, if not dying, they were not fussed or bothered so much. It was basically just saying, well, we've really messed up this one, let's work on the next one and make more money by selling it to people. But to me, it's not really that good. By reversing everything, by bringing in new changes, new modes which are not like the films, that if you want to play that, even if they're not like the films, and I do like some of the maps and I can play all of the maps, it's not a problem. It's just unplayable when you can only play part of a round, half a round, or a single round at best for most cases. Sometimes you can play a whole map and then you'll get matchmake automatically. You can't play with friends. It's not a big player base because it's only 20 aside maximum, and it's a bit of a shame, I think. And they didn't bring out the original Battlefront map, say, of Hoth in the original one, which is like the film. Why they didn't do that, I don't understand why. So it's like you've now got the computer specifications, a lot of people have, with modern graphics that is more realistic, that you can actually play, but it's worse than the 2005 sort of maps that you could get. So in my opinion, it's just not that good. The game, as you can see, if you can see how good or badly I do in the game, by the way, it's because I turned the sound off so I could do the recording. And sound, like someone told me who worked, in the computer industry, told me, for games, it's 50% of the games. If you can hear, sound is really crucial, and I have noticed it on many occasions. So with that being said, sound is really, is really a big part of the game. And when the sound bug was there, it was really, really bad, being cut off, and then you couldn't carry on playing. And now that makes no difference fixing it when it's just matchmake, unless you like playing the game as it is and switching, or you're a lone player so you don't mind switching from game to game. But it is really frustrating when you get on the side of people that don't, which is another bugbear of mine, is that people just don't do the objective. They go around because they want the points, they want to get the heroes or villains, so they want to earn the battle points, so they're not going to do the objective, or they run around to the back of the map because it's tactical and because they want the kills. This game I've also found, which is another issue, they still sort of make it. You can get it for all range of things, including doing the objective, but they do it about the kills as well. They still do that. If you watch carefully, a lot of people get the kill rate, so they don't do the objective. And so many times, me and a couple of others in so many maps and rounds have to, do the damage control and do the objective. And people just don't, including in some of these videos, or even in this video partially. People just will not do the objective. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. And that's it. You can let me know what you think, what you like about the game, what you don't like about the game, anything you think I've got right or wrong, or other things perhaps I don't. I have not put in everything, not like the experts, or those who really follow the game, and those who really like the game and don't mind the modes, like I've explained that I don't. Let me know in the comments below. Love to hear whatever you have to say. That's perfectly fine. And that's it for now. Bye.